one thing I did want to talk to you about, though, The Go-Giver.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the book right after I talked to you. I read the book. I've read it. I even started, I don't know if I told you this, but I started a book journal this year. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself.
Wow.
Where my goal was to read 50 books this year, start to finish, right? Which doesn't sound insurmountable. Well, I'm at 12 already. So I'm thinking that I might be able to beat that significantly. But The Go-Giver is one of them. Well, the way I've been doing it, though, so this is what I've learned. For Christmas, I got a Kindle, okay? And I didn't know if that'd be good or bad because I thought it might be wasteful because I got to carry two things around. But what I found is it feeds this addiction that I have when I'm on the Kindle because it's electronic. Also, because I'm so ADD, I always read 5 or 6 books at a time. And on the Kindle, it's much easier to switch between them because you just click over and open that book up, right? And then the third thing that's really helped is I didn't realize this till I got the Kindle, but Kindle syncs with Audible. So if you have the book on Audible too, I can be driving, listening to the book. Then if I'm on the elliptical, I'm reading the book. If I'm at night in bed, I'm looking at the Kindle. So I'm just not wasting any time on reading books.
Does it keep up with where you're at?
Yeah, the Kindle and the Audible sync. So if you're reading on the Kindle and you get to wherever page 400, 300, whatever, and then you go to Audible, it syncs and knows where you were at and starts off where it left off.
Good.
Huh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to know if you're journaling.
Uh-huh.
What's the big standout from The Go-Giver? What stood out?
Well, so
Are you finished with it?
Yeah, I'm finished with it.
Okay.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, though, because I struggle with some of the principles in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get it. I mean, I get what he's coming from. It's not a religious book, but a lot of the principles are similar to Christian principles, I think, in my opinion. And I didn't research the author, so I don't know if he had a hidden agenda there or not. But it's, you get what you give type thing. I did like the end where you have to be open to receiving. I think that's important. But I was like, I would struggle the same way. What was the lead character guy's name? Joe. I would struggle the same way that Joe did with Pender's advice on, like at the very beginning when he gives away business.
Yes.
He refers the business out.
So for audience, people that may be watching that don't know what the book's about, what's like the summary of it?
It's basically and since you're kind of the guru on it, you can elaborate. But it's basically a what do you call it? Parable about Joe, this guy who initially is trying to get a leg up in his business. He's trying to get this contract, and then he seeks out this business consultant guy named Pender, who then introduces him. I think it's 4 or 5 folks that are specialists really in certain areas. And all the chapters, at the beginning of the chapter, when he meets the person, normally he doesn't realize that's who he's talking to. It's like the girl bringing the coffee, or the guy that runs the Italian place. I think it was Italian place.
Ernesto.
Yeah, Ernesto. That they don't really fit his idea of what this successful person is. And then there's a lesson gleaned from it that he has to immediately use. Anyway, so is that a rough estimate?
Yeah, that's the big idea is how can you they contrast a go-getter versus this idea of go-giving.
Yeah.
And the hustle, the grind, the go get yours, the build, all of that kind of stuff, which is all right. But it's like there's got to be maybe like a different driver.
Hey, turn your mic this way. It's actually on the side. Just flip it towards me more. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
right.
now I got you.
Yeah, it's almost like trying to see who the driver or what the driver is for your life if you're going down this path of success. So he introduces into those 5 laws of what they call stratospheric success. And I think that's the big one is what you just said. It's like it immediately runs you into my idea of success is if the door's not open, I got to go knock the door down. Mm-hmm. If I'm not a door knocking down type of person, I got to go out there, and as they use at the beginning of it, is like I need somebody with clout and leverage to be able to get there. Nothing wrong with any of those. Mm-hmm. And kind of the big thing that the book is centered around is giving. At the core, it's like giving. Mm-hmm. And the question that got me on the front end was, he said, I think Joe asked him the question about, it sounds like a recipe for bankruptcy or something like that. Like you're talking about giving away, doing work for free, all that. You're going to run out. Mm-hmm. And he says, it's not that asking if it makes money is a bad question. That's a good question. It's just not the first question. Mm-hmm. The first question should not be if what I'm going to do is going to make me the money that I desire. Mm-hmm. The first question I got to ask is, does it serve? Mm-hmm. Does it add value? Am I actually giving in a sense of making other people's life better? I use it like this with the students in the classroom. when we go down the route of real estate or something like that. I say, y'all ever heard the word of appreciation in a home? And it's like, yeah. It's like, you make the house go up in the price. I'm like, yeah, how do you do that though? How do you actually make a house more valuable in a good market? Like, how would you make a house more valuable? And they go down a list of things, right? They're like, you could paint it. And I'm like, yeah, you could paint it. What else? Remodel, like put a new kitchen in, a bathroom. And I was like, yeah. I said, now how does that look in a person's life? Like, how do you add value or something like, actually serve someone in the sense of appreciating them? And usually we say, we usually say something like, if you did something for me, I'd say, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's just being polite.
Yeah.
That's not actually appreciating. You may have done that for me. If I've done something in your life, for me to appreciate you is to actually make your life better, bring you to a greater, or have more, be more in quantity and quality. So whatever that is in your life, my job then is not to see what can I get out of it, but what can I put into it to appreciate your life and raise it. So we use those illustrations like that in the classroom. And I think that's what the whole book is. It's like, how can I appreciate people? How can I raise their value? How can I raise them to be better individually with their business, with everything that they're actually attempting to do? I got to find my way of what do I have resourcefully or in my own hand. What can I do to actually enhance your well-being, your human experience? Like, we can get real general or we can be real specific. How can I appreciate your law firm? It's like, I love the work you do. Well, that's nice for being polite, but you're trying to open up a couple of offices.
Yeah.
What can I do to appreciate it? Is there connections I know, resources I know? That's how you would be a go-giver in that sense.